What's up, Bears Nation? Welcome back to Bears News Fan Report, your home for everything Chicago Bears. I'm here to bring you the freshest updates, the deepest analysis, and yes, the conversations that matter most about our beloved team. Today I've got something that's going to make you sit up in your chair, something that could reshape everything we thought we knew about this franchise's trajectory. But before we get there, let me paint you a picture of where we are right now. The Chicago Bears are sitting at the top of the NFC North with a 7-3 record after that heart-stopping victory against the Minnesota Vikings in Week 11. That's right, we're leading the division. The energy around Soldier Field is electric, the defense is playing lights out, and our offense is finding its rhythm at exactly the right time. But here's the thing that's been keeping me up at night, and I know it's on your mind too. We're good, really good, but are we championship good? That's the question that brings me to today's topic. And trust me, you're going to want to hear every single word of this, because what I'm about to discuss could be the difference between a playoff appearance and a Super Bowl parade down Michigan Avenue. Now, I've been covering this team for years, watching every game, analyzing every play, every decision, and I can tell you that we're at a crossroads, the kind of moment that defines franchises for the next decade. Justin Fields has shown us flashes of brilliance, moments where you can see the future superstar emerging. His athleticism is undeniable, his arm strength is elite, and his leadership qualities are growing with each game. But let's be honest with each other here. Development takes time, and in the NFL, time is a luxury we don't always have. So here's where things get fascinating, and I need you to stay with me because this is going to challenge everything you think you know about how this season could unfold. There's been serious discussion, and I mean serious discussion, about the possibility of bringing in a veteran quarterback who knows what it takes to win at the highest level. Someone who's been there, done that, and has the hardware to prove it. Someone who understands the NFC North better than anyone else in football. I'm talking about Aaron Rodgers potentially joining the Chicago Bears. Now, before you jump to the comments, hear me out completely, because the strategic implications of this are far more complex and fascinating than you might initially think. Let's break down what we know. Rodgers is currently with the New York Jets, and let's just say things haven't exactly gone according to plan there. The Jets are struggling, the chemistry isn't where it needs to be, and there are legitimate questions about whether that situation is salvageable. Meanwhile, here in Chicago, we've got a team that's winning games, a defense that's among the best in the league, and an offense that's one or two pieces away from being truly elite. The pieces are here, the culture is being built, and the window is opening right now. Think about what Rodgers brings to the table. We're talking about a four-time MVP, a Super Bowl champion, someone who's dissected defenses for nearly 2 decades. His football IQ is off the charts, his ability to read coverages pre-snap is legendary, and his experience in high-pressure situations is exactly what a young team needs to get over the hump. But here's what makes this even more intriguing from a strategic standpoint. Imagine Rodgers coming in not as a long-term solution, but as a bridge. A mentor for Fields, someone who can show him the nuances of the position that you can't learn from film study alone. The way to manipulate safeties with your eyes, how to change protections at the line, when to take the check down versus when to let it rip downfield. This isn't just about winning games this season, it's about accelerating Fields' development and setting this franchise up for sustained success. The salary cap situation would need to be navigated carefully, absolutely, but it's not impossible. The Bears have been smart with their money, building through the draft and making calculated moves in free agency. If there's a will, there's a way, and the potential return on investment here is astronomical. We're talking about taking a team that's already 7-3 and leading the division and giving them a legitimate shot at a deep playoff run. Now let's talk about what this means for the locker room dynamic. Leadership is everything in the NFL, and bringing in someone of Rodgers' caliber sends a message to every player in that building. It says we're all in, we're going for it, and we believe in this group. That kind of mentality is contagious, and it's exactly what championship teams are built on. The defense would feed off it, knowing they don't have to be perfect because they've got a quarterback who can make plays when it matters most. The offensive players would elevate their games because they're learning from one of the greatest to ever do it. And Fields, if he embraces the opportunity, could learn more in one season alongside Rodgers than he would in 3 years as a starter. But let's also be realistic about the challenges here. There's the question of ego, of playing time, of how you manage two talented quarterbacks on the same roster. These are legitimate concerns that would need to be addressed head-on with clear communication and defined roles. The coaching staff would need to be on board, the ownership would need to be committed, and most importantly, both quarterbacks would need to buy into the vision. It's not easy, but the teams that win championships are the ones willing to make bold moves when the opportunity presents itself. Here's what really gets me excited about this possibility. The Bears are already winning with what we have. We're not a desperate team trying to fix a broken situation. We're a good team trying to become great. And there's a massive difference between those two scenarios. We've got DJ Moore making plays on the outside. We've got a running game that's physical and effective. And we've got a defense led by guys who play with attitude and swagger. Adding Rodgers to this mix doesn't fix problems. It maximizes potential. It takes us from being a team that could make noise in the playoffs to a team that could legitimately compete for a championship. And isn't that what we all want? Isn't that what this city deserves after years of quarterback instability and playoff disappointments? Now, I know some of you are thinking about the rivalry aspect of this. Rodgers has been the villain in our division for so long, the guy who's broken our hearts more times than I care to count. But that's exactly why this would be so poetic. Imagine the greatest quarterback in Packers history finishing his career by leading the Bears to glory. The narrative writes itself, and the impact on the division would be seismic. Green Bay would have to face their former legend twice a year. Detroit and Minnesota would suddenly be looking up at an even more dangerous Bears team, and the entire NFC would have to take notice. This is the kind of move that changes the landscape of the conference. So here's where we are. The Chicago Bears are 7-3, leading the NFC North and playing their best football in years. The foundation is solid, the momentum is real, and the opportunity is right in front of us. The question isn't whether we can compete. It's whether we're willing to do what it takes to go all the way. Aaron Rodgers joining the Bears would be bold, unexpected, and potentially franchise-altering. It would give us the best chance to win now, while also setting up the future. It's the kind of move that separates good organizations from great ones. Now I want to hear from you, the heartbeat of this fan base. What do you think about the possibility of Aaron Rodgers in a Bears uniform? Does it excite you, concern you, or maybe a bit of both? Would you embrace it as a strategic masterstroke, or do you believe we should stick with Fields and let him continue to develop? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because this conversation is just getting started and your perspective matters. As we close out today's episode, remember that we're living in a special moment for Bears football. We're winning, we're relevant, and the future is bright. Whether Rodgers becomes part of that future or not, the trajectory of this franchise is pointing upward. But man, wouldn't it be something to see number 12 in navy and orange leading this team to places we've only dreamed about? That's the possibility we're discussing, and it's why I love covering this team. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. We're bringing you content every single day, breaking down the latest news, analyzing the strategies, and keeping you connected to everything Bears. This is Bears News Fan Report, and I'll see you in the next one. Bear down, Chicago!